The story of human civilization is called his story. But that is not to say that there have not been any women who have carved places for themselves in this story. Take space travel, for instance. There have been many women who have earned permanent places in the Hall of Fame by their extraordinary achievements. Let us begin with the first woman in space. Valentina Tereshkova was the first woman to travel to space. Even as a child, she was interested in parachute jumping. It was perhaps this interest that made her take up a career as a cosmonaut later. This remarkable woman belonged to the country which was then called the USSR, the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics. The spacecraft in which she traveled was called Vostok 6. In 1961, fellow countryman Yuri Gagarin had been the first man to travel to space, and 2 years later, in 1963, she performed the same feat. It was in the month of June 1963. Her flight time was not very long. It lasted for just 2 days, 22 hours and 50 minutes. There were many space flights that followed, but we will turn our attention to Deva Mae Jemison, a doctor of medicine and the first Afro-American woman in space. Dea Jemison was very committed to her medical profession and worked as a volunteer helping refugees in Cambodia and West Africa. She has a flair for languages and speaks 4 languages with ease: Japanese, Russian, Swahili and English. Born in Alabama in the United States of America, she was part of the crew of the space shuttle called Shuttle Endeavour. Her job was that of a mission specialist, and she studied the effects of space travel on the human body. This mission took place in September 1992. Turning to another part of the globe, we meet Chioke Mukoi, who was also a doctor by profession. She was a specialist in cardiovascular surgery. Born in 1952 in Japan, she has earned a special place in Japanese history as the first Japanese woman to travel in space and the first Japanese astronaut to fly twice. Her first flight was on ST-65 Columbia when she was deputed to do research in space life science. For this, she conducted experiments on the cardiovascular system and the effects of space on the aging process. This flight took off in July 1994 and lasted for 15 days. Let us draw inspiration from these pioneering women and work hard to destroy the myth that women cannot do all that men can.